that makes 4-0 as the Springboks arise victorious 55-10 over Georgia in a great crowd in Nelspruit Momella Stadium there in Pumalanga. Lots to unpack about this one. Was not a perfect game by any means for the Springboks, but there's lots to unpack in this one. Gotta once again tip my hat to Georgia. Thank you. Much like Portugal, exactly 1 year ago, you made it entertaining as hell. It was a fun game to watch. Um, to quote John Rambo, they drew first blood. Uh, Georgia gets a try in the second minute. Kakadze crosses after a line out. Metkava does convert at 7-0. In the lead up to the try, unfortunately, Super Sia Khaleesi goes out for a HIA. Quagga Smith does come in for him. And this is like 2 minutes into the game. Already fireworks early on. 3 minutes later, a knock on by the Bokke leads to a scrum. The Springboks do draw the penalty, so congratulations to the three debutants on the front row. Definitely put in their work today. 7th minute, 2 minutes later, Georgia goes offside. Sasha kicks to touch. The Georgian defense, kind of like Italy, man, definitely coming out and showing like, hey, we're not a pushover here, guys. And I mean, Georgia's always been that outlier team in Europe. Like when they've talked about expanding the Six Nations, typically it's because Italy is terrible or Wales is terrible. Georgia has always come into it. And Georgia, unlike those other countries in the Six Nations, 100% Georgian players. 100% Georgian players. Kind of reminds you of like Argentina or Uruguay or the Springboks, you know? They 100% home grow their players. 2 minutes after 11 phases, Boenventer on debut does get the cross. Sasha is off the right post. The Georgians attacked his kick. They obviously didn't get a piece of it, but it was, kind of a very easily makeable kick, and he hesitated for a second off the right post. So it is 7-5. Georgia still leading 9 minutes into this one. 13th minute, we find out Sia does clear the HIA, so he does come back out onto the pitch. A Georgian offside. Sasha kicks to touch, and then Van der Merwe off the lineout gets his first try on debut. It was his first of two on the day. Sasha misses again off to the right. It is 10-7. We take the lead. As I get to my next page here, folks. 14th minute, Damian Dialende drops the ball on the restart, and Georgia gets it back. They get the steal. After, once again, 10-plus phases, Georgia gets the advantage, but they fail to cross. They end up with an obstruction. They go on advantage again. They fail to cross. They kick to touch, line out, and they end up committing an obstruction penalty during the line out. So Sasha gets us out of trouble. We end up kicking to touch, get it out of our end of the field. 4 minutes later, Grant Williams gets a deep run. He offloads it to Edville Van der Merwe, who gets it to Fossey, who gets it to Kanan Moody, who crosses. Sasha misses again, 15-7. We'll get into Sasha had a bad game. Sasha had a real bad game. 27th minute, Peter Steptotoy gets a penalty for not entering properly. Metkava does elect to kick. It is 15-10 at the 27th minute. 5 minutes later, 5 minutes later, after a Georgia penalty, a 5-meter line out leads to another Van der Merwe try off the line out. Sasha finally clears something. He's 1 of 4, and it's 22-10 at the 31st minute. 6 minutes later, a scrum penalty on Georgia. Sasha kicks to the corner. We make a lot of attacks. We go on advantage. We get nothing out of it. We go to halftime at 22-10. That first half was racked with really bad handling by the Springboks, and Georgia really just like not backing down. Their forward pack, I hand it to them. They do not back down, knowing full well that like, hey, look, you've still got to deal with the veterans off the bench. They never stopped attacking. And it was the same thing we saw with Portugal last year. They never gave up. And you tip your hat to those guys because it's like, hey, look, there's not a chance that you win, but you like to see those guys go out there and pretend that it could still happen. 4 minutes into the second half, the bomb squad comes on. to the rescue, as it seems. 2 minutes later, after a scrum penalty advantage for the Boks, Grant does, dude, like it seemed like it was 100 meters, but it was probably like 15, 20 meters. His offloading, I've watched some videos of him on social media. Like, dude, that guy can offload from like him and Manny Libot can both offload from a very long distance. He gets it out to Edville van der Merwe. Edville does cross. Sasha misses 1 of 5 on the day. It's off to the left. It's 27-10. So you do the math. He's left 8 points out on the field that we did not get. 55th minute, after multiple penalties on Georgia, a scrum leads to Damian Valemza try out left after, once again, a Grant Williams offload. Remember when Villy was kind of like the try assist master? Yeah, it's become Grant Williams now, but he can also score tries too. Pollard has already come in at this point. Of course, it's the Iceman, 1 of 1, 34-10 at the 55th minute. 17 minutes goes by of just a lot of back and forth, man. Not anything really. Georgia showing some good defense, Springbok showing some good defense. Nothing really materializes. And then at the 72nd minute, Foth chips a kick deep. Edville chases it down for his second of the game. Hondre, of course, Iceman himself, 41-10. He's 2 of 2 on the day. Foth takes a knock to the head. He's off for the HIA. I don't believe he returns to the game at all after that. 6 minutes later, Grant Williams, once again, as he had replaced Foth de Klerk. He's the catalyst for a try. This time he links up with Kurtley Arenza. Absolutely beautiful little bit of footwork. Offload to Kurtley. I mean, you're not going to catch Kurtley Arenza. Pollard 3 of 3. It's 48-10. And kind of the icing on the cake, the restart, you kind of wonder, like, the siren goes off. Are we just going to kick it into touch? But Georgia was like, no. We're going to stop you. We're going to try everything. You give us your all. Hondre with his only 8th try. I thought that had to have been a typo, and I looked it up. Nope. Only his 8th try in the Springbok uniform. He puts the fork in the team. Of course, he's 4 of 4 kicking on the day, and the final score is 55-10. Man of the match performance going to Ruan Norkia. I cannot disagree, Ruan. Is he a flashy guy? No, but he does his job and he does it well. He's great at lineouts. Georgia did steal a lot of lineouts from the Springboks, though, too. He's just that guy that does what you need him to do. And I think with him playing at 7 with the Bulls, he has that mobility that you need in a lock. And if it hadn't have been him, my man of the match personally would have been Damien Dialende, the Milnerton grad. There's a reason he's had as many starts as he has at 12. My overall opinion on guys, I think all 3 front row guys that debuted did just fine. Obviously, Venter, Van der Merwe both having the tries. Kanan Moody definitely putting his hand up. Look, I still think Jesse Krill is our best 13 at the moment, but Kanan Moody kind of saying, hey, he's up there in his 30s. I'm still a kid. I can come in after him. And that's proving that, he's a great option at 13. Edville van der Merwe, once again, granted, he's played Portugal, Georgia, and Italy. But I don't think Makazole Mumpibi makes it to the next World Cup. That's our veteran winger that we take with us. Now you could say, well, Cheslin's old, but Cheslin Colby's the best winger on the planet. So Edville, definitely another great performance by him. Some things we need to talk about. So first off, we're going to talk about Sasha Feinberg and Mngomezulu. This was the worst game I've ever seen him play in the green and gold. And you knew it was bound to happen. It was just like when he came in against Wales and he nailed that long kick, and he actually went quite a few games without missing a kick, and then he finally did. And it's like you get that kind of off your shoulder. He's a 73% kicker for the green and gold. That percentage obviously went down a lot today. Having a discussion with my old follower, Swanee, now living in Pretoria. He's a Joburg guy. We were kind of talking about how, look, for all the flack that we give Manny Libot, yes, Manny struggles at kicking, but as far as his ball distribution, everything, he doesn't struggle at that point. Sasha struggled at everything today. He just wasn't getting the flow of the offense going. The attack wasn't looking good, and his kicking was terrible. Do I think that, we need to write him off now? No. He's a young kid. He's going to have bad games. Everyone does. Even Hondre has them at times. Everyone has a bad game. This was his bad game. This was Sasha's probably worst game I've ever seen him play for the Springboks. Eben Etzebeth. Now, look, he is the boogeyman. I will always call him that. I saw him miss a lot of tackles today. Now, the argument could be made that, hey, look, he's got 130 plus caps. He's not going to be that guy forever. Or the argument can be, how much has he played this year? He spent a lot of the year injured or just not playing. His first test back, how did he look? I can't really sit here and say, oh yeah, this guy, he looked solid. He looked rough. Eben did not look like Eben today. Hence Ron Lorkia getting man of the match. Audhey came in for Eben, and it was Eben just didn't have a good day either. You could just kind of tell. Sia did well, Peter Stuff did well, Kwaka did well. As far as Kopis Visa at number 8, it wasn't really anything particularly memorable. I still don't get what does Evan Riss have to do? He had a great game against Italy. He should have got the start today. I know we're holding like the Dwayne Vermeulen standard to all these guys, and obviously Jasper Fiza has not met that standard. Neither is Evan Riss. And I mean, I know the future is Cameron Hennecom, but obviously Hennecom is injured. I just wasn't super impressed with Kopis Visa at number 8. He's a lock. He's a lock or a flanker. He's mostly a lock. I got it that it gave us an extra option, but he just didn't do anything super impressive to me. DLND, once again, great game. Can't complain about Kirtley, Edville. Fossey did well in the game. Damien Valemza came in, tried doing the same shit he did last week, tried holding the damn ball too much, but he did get a try on the day, and you can kind of see that he's going to get back in the swing of things. It's just a matter of time, but I'm still going to pick Fossey over Damien at the moment. That's really, we've got to break now. We got to get ready for the Rugby Championship. None of this playing around crap, none of this horsing around with lineups. We've got to get a solid lineup as we enter the Rugby Championship here in a couple of weeks. Obviously waiting for Australia to finish up their sponsored tour by the 4 teams with a 24% win percentage against New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa. They get to put a select team together so they can pretend that they're somehow equal to the teams they have a 24% win rate against. Another big news, Zimbabwe beat Namibia earlier this morning, my time, obviously, because I'm in America, and has qualified for the 2027 Rugby World Cup. So for anybody that hasn't been paying attention, Hong Kong has qualified, and now Zimbabwe has qualified for the 2027 Rugby World Cup as far as teams that don't typically qualify. I know Zimbabwe got in early whenever the Springboks weren't allowed to play, and I don't want to make this a political channel, but it kind of makes you wonder, if Mugabe hadn't done what he had done, Zimbabwe probably could have continued being a pretty damn competitive rugby team. Don't want to get into politics, but that's what it is. And so congratulations to Zimbabwe. We have the draws will be happening later this year. It would be cool to see you end up in a pool with the Springboks, but I highly doubt that happens. But if it did, cool. I don't think they win a single game. Neither does Hong Kong. And I hate to say it, neither does the United States, because they're pretty much going to get shoot in no matter what. I just don't see it happening. Canada did lose to Belgium earlier, or to Spain by a single point. USA will play England later today or tomorrow. I think it's today. Who cares? Who cares? England's going to beat the crap out of the Eagles. Now, for those of you that don't know, the big game coming on here in a little less than 2 hours' time, we have the U20s championship. We have the Springboks, the Baby Boks, the Junior Boks, whatever, taking on the Junior All Blacks, the U20 All Blacks, and the final for the U20s championship. Hoping to see the Junior Boks come away with a victory would be awesome to kind of see. And I mean, they've looked really good through the tournament. Ireland finishes in 11th. Ireland came in 11th in the tournament. They barely beat Spain today. Those poor Irish, but you got to hand it to them. They're trying, but yeah. So we'll take a little bit of a break here. Obviously, everybody will lick their wounds. We'll find out where we're at. We've got the Rugby Championship coming up. I'm going to be covering that. So let's be happy. We start out the year 4-0. Did we play any serious competition? I felt like the Babas should have been, but that was just a joke. Italy wasn't serious. Neither was Georgia. The serious competition starts when we start the Rugby Championship and through the end of the year. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. How did you feel about the game? How did you feel overall about the performance of the team? I was not 100% impressed, but I knew this was going to be a play around game, as everyone knew. It was a foregone conclusion. You knew we were going to beat the brakes off of these guys. I feel like it should have been a much higher scoreline. Sasha's missed kicks hurt us, and I think failing to capitalize on things definitely hurt us. But I tip my hat to Georgia because, once again, just like Portugal last year, they made it an entertaining game. So I will talk to you guys very soon. You guys be safe wherever you're at, and cheers.